There are some really interesting things happening in the music space right now that I think everyone needs to know about. In February, Universal Music Group bought a company called Downtown Music for $775 million. If you don't know Downtown Music, this is at least what you need to understand. They own CD Baby. This is a platform that millions of independent artists use to publish their music on Spotify without a label. They also own Fugo, which is the backbone distribution platform for thousands of independent labels worldwide. And on top of all of this, they own Songtrust. Songtrust collects publishing royalties for over 4 million independent artists around the world. And now all of this is consolidated under the world's largest record label. All of this happened in February, but then in March, Ninja Tune got acquired. You might not recognize Ninja Tune, but you might recognize Bonobo or Floating Points, Jada G. Ninja Tune's been one of the most respected independent electronic music labels in the world for the past 35 years. And okay, it didn't get bought by Universal or Sony, but it got bought by Concord, a company that's supposed to be the independent alternative for all of the big labels. We fast forward to last week. This hasn't officially passed yet, but Concord announced that they're going to be merging with BMG in a deal worth up to $7 billion. So now the two biggest independent music companies in the world are merging, and the industry's already calling it a fourth major label, which means that Ninja Tune went from being an independent label to a part of Concord to potentially a fourth major in as little as 6 weeks. Universal, Sony, and Warner are of course the big. They control about 70% of all recorded music revenue worldwide. Now there's a fourth forming underneath them. I feel like every part of the industry is being consolidated. We've gone into the nuances, but what does this mean for us as listeners? When fewer companies are controlling what gets funded, distributed, or promoted, the music that reaches us is already filtered through what these companies deem as worthy. It's what they're betting on as a conglomerate and not what we're seeking out for discovery purposes. So the weird stuff, the non-commercial stuff, the stuff that might become a classic in 10 years if we just let it breathe, that gets harder to justify in a boardroom, and you don't know what you've never heard. That's why when I find the Daptone records of the world, they're still recording music to analog tape in a house in Bushwick. A coal mine in Ohio, which is a really small team running out of a record shop out there. Stone's Throw in LA, which is still founder owned and operated and is celebrating 30 years this year. That's what feels radical to me. It's not nostalgia, it is radical. Because maintaining that ownership is harder to do every single year with this consolidation that we're seeing, so it's worth paying attention to people that are still doing it.